Hey there, welcome to a quiet corner of history, where the boring unfolds like a soft blanket to wrap around your restless mind. Tonight, we're drifting into the medieval world, a place of dull routines and gentle hardships, perfect for easing you into sleep with the steady rhythm of forgotten days. If this slow journey soothes you, go ahead and hit that like button, subscribe if it feels right, and let me know in the comments where you're tuning in from and what time it is. Seeing you all across the globe brings a calm smile. Now, dim those lights, let the room grow still, and maybe turn on a fan for that soft, steady hum to carry you along. Pause for a gentle music cue, like a distant flute or rustling leaves. Let the dull details lull you, let the past's quiet weight settle in. Imagine waking up in the year 1325, where you're alive, yes, but sharing your breath with a chorus of fleas. It's a humble start, a sleepy setup to a day you'd struggle to survive, and we'll ease into that next, step by gentle step. Picture the scene, no alarms, just a creaking world waking with you, ready to unfold its simple, tiring tale. Let your shoulders drop, your thoughts soften, as we wander into this medieval morning, where every moment is a chance to drift off, lulled by the humdrum of history. This isn't a race, just a stroll through time, with a hint of humor in how tough it all was. Those fleas might even make you chuckle as you sink deeper. So, breathe easy, let the narrative flow, and we'll move together into the straw-strewn reality of that long-ago dawn. As the faint light of dawn creeps through the cracks of your 14th century hut, you stir awake, drawn from dreams by the distant clang of a church bell, a sound that echoes softly, yet insistently, across the muddy village. Your bed is a humble affair, a mattress of rotting straw stuffed with last season's hay, its edges crumbling under the weight of time and neglect, alive with the gentle rustle of fleas making their morning rounds. Pause for a soft ambient cue, like a distant bell fading. The wool blanket draped over you feels heavy, not from warmth, but from grime accumulated since winter, a layer so thick it might rival the heft of a small cow, an ironic testament to resilience in a world where cleanliness is a luxury. You blink slowly, letting the scene settle, the air carrying a faint musty scent of damp earth and animal hide, a quiet reminder of the barn floor this straw once graced just months ago. Your body aches as you shift, the cold seeping into your bones, 24 years old, yet your joints creak like an ancient door, a subtle surprise in how youth bends under medieval strain. The hut around you is a single room, its walls of rough wood bowing slightly, no windows to let in light, just gaps where the wind whispers through. Beside you, your family stirs, parents, siblings, perhaps a cousin who never found his way home, sharing this cramped space with a goat and a thriving colony of insects, their tiny movements a soft symphony of survival. Pause for a gentle breath, imagining the scene. There's an irony here, a mild curiosity in how life persists amid such hardship. The fleas don't judge, the straw doesn't complain, and you, somehow, endure. The smell weaves together stale ale, human sweat, and a hint of goat dung, with an undertone you hope is mold but fear might be something worse, a gentle mystery that lingers without startling. You lie there a moment longer, reflecting on this quiet resilience, how each dawn is a small victory in a world that offers little. The bell tolls again, pulling you toward the day, and with it comes the next challenge, the morning routine that awaits beyond these walls. It's a public affair, one where privacy is a forgotten dream, and we'll ease into that next, letting the rhythm of this medieval morning carry you deeper into rest. Imagine stepping out, the cold floor beneath your bare feet, the hum of village life beginning, each step a soft invitation to drift, as the horrors of hygiene unfold with a whisper of humor and wonder. Let your mind wander there, lulled by the steady pace of a life so different, yet so human in its struggles. As you rise from your straw haven, the cold floor beneath your bare feet signals the start of a new day in 14th century Europe, a day where nature's call waits with little patience. Privacy is a distant memory in this wooden hut, where walls offer no shield, and the morning ritual begins with a quiet resignation to its public nature. Pause for a soft ambient hum, like a gentle breeze. You step outside, the air crisp yet heavy, and reach for the wooden bucket tucked behind the hut, a humble vessel already brimming from Uncle Rolf's turnip-fueled night, its contents releasing a stench that feels almost biblical, a slow, rhythmic wave of aroma that washes over you. Hold your breath, let the moment stretch, as you tend to your needs, the process a gentle dance of survival in a world where sanitation is a stranger. With a deep exhale, you prepare to empty this burden, the act itself a small ceremony of medieval life. A shout of "Garde-le," an old French cry meaning "watch out below," escapes your lips, a touch of irony in its feudal warning, as the street below rarely clears in time. Pause for a faint chuckle in the tone. The liquid joins a flowing river of waste, animal droppings, and mystery sludge, a communal sewer that glimmers faintly under the dawn light, its presence a mild surprise in how normalized this chaos becomes. If fortune smiles, you live near a town with public latrines, stone benches where strangers sit shoulder to shoulder, a trivia tidbit for the curious. These were often built over streams, a rudimentary flush long before modern plumbing. The ventilation is a cruel joke, the air thick, yet the rhythmic pacing of shared silence lulls, a passive lesson in historical ingenuity wrapped in discomfort. No toilet paper softens this ritual. Straw, leaves, or a scrap of wool serve instead, an ironic twist on luxury in a time where moss might be your finest wipe. Pause for a gentle breath, imagining the texture. In castles, the garderobe offers a slight upgrade, a hole in the wall dropping waste into the moat, a fact that carries a whisper of mystery. Enemies sometimes climbed up these chutes, turning relief into risk. Whether peasant or noble, this morning task is a humiliating ordeal, cold and public, where a slip on wet stone might land you face first in humanity's leftovers, a subtle shock to keep the mind drifting without jarring awake. Yet, there's resilience here, a quiet endurance, as you step back, the ritual complete, and turn toward the next challenge. The day's first test awaits inside, the grim reality of breakfast, and we'll ease into that next, letting the steady beat of this medieval morning carry you forward. Picture the smoky fire, the wooden bowl waiting, as the stench fades into the background, replaced by the promise of a meal that tests as much as it sustains. Let your thoughts flow with the rhythm, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even the simplest acts hold a story of survival. As the morning light filters softly through the hut's gaps, you settle near the hearth, its faint crackle a gentle companion in the stillness of 14th century life. Before you sits a wooden bowl, filled with pottage, a gloopy stew that simmers with a serene rhythm, its contents a blend of grains and root vegetables, perhaps a few beans if the harvest was kind. Pause for a soft ambient cue, like a distant fire's hum. This isn't a meal prepared fresh, it's been bubbling for weeks, a living experiment of survival, where new scraps are stirred into the pot's depths, its earthy scent rising slowly, a mystery wrapped in every spoonful. The texture clings to the spoon, thick and unhurried, inviting you to let your thoughts drift with its steady flow. Beside the bowl lies your bread, a hunk so hard it demands negotiation rather than slicing, a quiet humor in how you must wrestle this coarse rye or barley loaf, often stretched with sawdust or ground acorns, a secret ingredient born of necessity since wheat remains a dream for the rich. Pause for a gentle breath, imagining the effort. The crust resists, a mild surprise in its stubbornness, yet there's resilience in every bite, a testament to enduring what little the land offers. No butter softens it, no jam sweetens the taste, just the grit of survival on your tongue, a sensory lullaby that eases you deeper into rest. And to wash it down, there's weak ale, a low-alcohol brew sipped at dawn, its faint bitterness a lifeline against water teeming with unseen threats, a subtle irony in starting the day with a drink children share too. This breakfast isn't comfort, it's a test passed through quiet strength, a moment where the body sustains itself against the odds. Pause for a music cue, a soft lute strum. As you finish, the next task calls, dressing in misery-wrapped wool, and we'll ease into that next, letting the warmth of the fire fade as you reach for that single, scratchy tunic. Let the rhythm of this meal carry you, the hum of medieval life guiding you toward the day's next layer, where resilience continues to weave its story. As the embers of the morning fire dim, you turn your thoughts to the day ahead, reaching for the one outfit that defines your 14th century existence, a rough wool tunic that drapes over you like a second skin. This single garment, worn day after day, carries the weight of months, its fibers scratchy against your skin, a hypnotic repetition of scratchy wool and lice farms lulling you into its rhythm. Pause for a gentle ambient cue, like a soft breeze through trees. The fabric stiffens with stains, its earthy scent a blend of sweat and smoke, and those rent-free bugs, fleas and lice, thrive within, an ironic twist that brings a faint, relatable smile to the weary mind, their presence a quiet companion in this medieval dance. There's no wardrobe to choose from, no seasonal shift, just this one piece that clings to you, its texture a constant reminder of life's simplicity. Underneath, a linen undertunic might offer a thin barrier if you're lucky, but often it's bare skin against wool, a subtle surprise in how fungal risks creep in, dampness breeding unseen growths that itch in silence, a gentle nudge of curiosity without breaking the calm. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the sensation. Your hands move slowly, adjusting the tunic, feeling the weight of resilience in every thread, a testament to enduring what cannot be changed. Shoes, if you own them, are crude leather scraps, barely stitched, offering no support. Most tread barefoot through mud and sharp stones, the ground itself a part of this daily discomfort. The itching persists, a soft symphony of survival, as you stand, readying for the world outside. Pause for a music cue, a distant harp note. This ritual of dressing flows naturally into the next challenge, the battlefield of oral hygiene, and will drift there next, letting the scratchy wool fade as your thoughts turn to the state of your medieval mouth. Let the steady pace carry you, the hum of this humble routine guiding you deeper into rest, where even discomfort holds a story of quiet strength. As you step away from your scratchy woolen armor, your thoughts drift inward, settling on the quiet battlefield within your mouth, a realm where dental care is but a distant whisper in 14th century life. Your smile, if you dare to show it, carries the ghostly echo of a haunted crypt, teeth worn and darkened by time, a dreamy tone wrapping around the image of cavities lurking like shadows. Pause for a soft ambient cue, like a gentle wind chime. By your mid-20s, the decay sets in, gums swelling softly, a subtle surprise in how sugar, rare and hoarded by the rich, begins to rot noble smiles faster, while your gritty porridge and hard bread wage a slower war on your own. There's no toothbrush to ease this struggle, no toothpaste to soothe, just the occasional rinse with wine or vinegar, a light humor in calling it verbal Valium, a sip that calms more than cleans. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the taste. Trivia drifts in like a lullaby, barber surgeons, those dual masters of hair and healing, step in with iron hooks and candlelight, pulling teeth with no anesthesia, a gentle intrigue in their dual role, a nod to medieval ingenuity that keeps the mind softly engaged. Toothaches throb like a constant companion, a pain that blends into the day's rhythm, where praying or self-extraction with pliers becomes the norm, an ironic twist on relief that brings a faint, sleepy chuckle. Yet, there's resilience here, a quiet endurance as you face this daily ache, knowing it's part of survival's tapestry. Pause for a music cue, a soft lute strum. This battlefield prepares you for the next trial, the back-breaking workday grind, and we'll ease into that next, letting the ache fade as your body turns to the fields. Let the steady pace of this medieval mouth carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even pain holds a gentle story of strength. As the morning's quiet rituals fade, you step into the open air of your 14th century village, the weight of the day settling onto your shoulders like a soft, persistent fog. Your work begins with the sunrise, a peasant's life where the land belongs to a lord whose name you barely recall, and your task is simple yet endless: don't die while laboring for his comfort. Pause for a gentle ambient cue, like the rustle of leaves in a breeze. Your spine bends like the letter S, a subdued image of toil as you grip a wooden hoe, its rough handle worn smooth by countless hands, the rhythm of digging a hypnotic pulse against the earth. There are no coffee breaks, just endurance tests wrapped in irony. Hours stretch from dawn to dusk, 6 days a week, with no clock to mark the time, only the sun's slow arc across the sky. Your tools are humble, a rusty sickle gleams faintly in the light, a testament to its overuse, and your body, bones aching, muscles straining, becomes the truest instrument of survival. The fields stretch before you, plowed by hand or with an ox if you're fortunate enough to share one, a mild surprise in how wealth dictates even this basic aid. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the effort. You dig ditches, sow seeds, pull weeds, and haul water, each motion a quiet act of resilience, your back curving further with every load. Women carry an extra burden, multitasking with a serene grace, tending fields, caring for children, spinning wool by firelight, feeding livestock, all while dodging the lice that migrate from their husbands' tunics, a relatable nod to their quiet strength that soothes the listener's mind. Sunday offers a rare pause, but only if raiders aren't near or the harvest doesn't demand your hands. Otherwise, it's a day of prayer for an infected toe to heal, a gentle irony in the fleeting rest. Pause for a music cue, a soft drone of a distant horn. Children join by 5, tiny hands wielding wooden rakes, no school or toys, just dreams of outlasting the flu, a subtle curiosity in their early labor. If you're not a farmer, perhaps you're a blacksmith, the clang of hammer on iron a muted rhythm, or a tanner, surrounded by the earthy stench of hides in a poorly ventilated shed. Pay is survival itself, perks a bleeding break if you're lucky, and illness met with warm beer as medicine, quit, and you're replaced, a stark truth softened by the steady pace. This labor is your life, a relentless grind where mental health goes unasked, yet you endure, your spirit bending but not breaking. Pause for a gentle breath. The resilience here, yours, your family's, shines through the monotony, a lullaby of human will. As the day wears on, the weather looms as the next challenge, its seasonal punishments waiting to test you further, and will drift into that next, letting the rhythm of your work fade into the shifting skies. Let your mind rest on these fields, the hum of history carrying you deeper, where every swing of the hoe is a step toward sleep. As the rhythm of your labor slows with the setting sun, the weather of 14th century Europe begins to weave its own tale, a relentless companion to your daily toil. In winter, the cold creeps into your hut, seeping through gaps in the wooden walls where cloth serves as windows, a subdued image of stillness broken only by the faint crackle of a dying fire. Pause for a calming ambient cue, like a soft wind whistling through trees. Your fingers stiffen like popsicles, numb and unyielding, a gentle pause to let the sensation sink in, while your breath forms delicate clouds in the dim light, a mystery in how bad luck frostbite claims toes without warning, a quiet curiosity that drifts through the mind. Wood is scarce, its gathering sometimes a hanging offense if the wrong forest is trespassed, an ironic twist that adds a faint, sleepy smile to the tale. Summer brings its own trial, transforming your hut into a clay oven where no breeze dares to enter, the air thick with heat that clings to your skin. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the warmth. There's no fan, no deodorant, just the steady drip of sweat through your wool, a rhythmic flow that lulls as flies buzz lazily, drawn to last week's goat stew fermenting in the corner. The humor lies in climate control, none, a relatable nod to the lack of respite, where showing too much skin invites sunburn and scandalous whispers, a subtle surprise that keeps the narrative gently alive. In the fields, the sun bakes relentlessly, no hat beyond a straw scrap if you're clever, and heatstroke is merely called a bad turn, a quiet endurance that soothes with its simplicity. Through it all, resilience hums beneath the surface, a soft strength in facing seasons without shield. Pause for a music cue, a gentle harp glide. The weather's punishment shapes your days, yet it flows naturally into the next concern, water's hidden dangers, and will ease into that next, letting the cold and heat fade as your thoughts turn to the streams beyond. Let the steady pace of this medieval climate carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even nature's trials offer a lullaby. As the rhythm of the season settles into your bones, your thoughts drift to the next necessity of 14th century life, water, a resource that flows with a deceptive calm, hiding silent threats beneath its surface. The nearby stream glimmers under the soft light, its gentle ripple a reflective mirror to your weary eyes, yet it teems with unseen, parasite parties, where chamber pots or a decaying pig upstream turn every sip into a gamble. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a trickling brook fading into silence. This quiet danger shapes your days, a subtle mystery in how purity masks peril, and you learn to avoid it, letting the thought linger like a soft whisper in the mind. Drinking becomes a ritual of survival, where weak ale takes the place of water, its faint bitterness a lullaby of safety brewed from boiled grains, a trivia tidbit for the curious. Even children sip this low-alcohol lifeline, a practice born not of revelry but necessity. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the taste. Wine offers a richer alternative if you're fortunate, its warmth a gentle indulgence for the wealthy, yet it dulls the senses before noon, an ironic twist that brings a faint smile. Bathing, too, carries its risks. The belief that washing opens pores to disease keeps you cloaked in protective filth layers, a humorous notion that your caked-on grime is a shield, engaging the listener with its odd logic without jarring the calm. Communal bathhouses exist, a rare escape, but they whisper tales of scandal and gossip, their waters shared and murky, a mild surprise in how the church frowned upon them, shutting many down. Pause for a music cue, a soft flute note. Fetching well water or collecting rainwater in barrels, where birds leave their mark and moss thrives, becomes a chore, its earthy scent a rhythmic companion to your day. Yet resilience shines through, a quiet strength in navigating these hidden dangers, a thread that lulls as you adapt. This dance with water flows naturally into the next chapter, medieval medicines, polite torture, and we'll ease into that next, letting the stream's gentle flow carry you toward healers with their leeches and blades. Pause for a gentle breath. Let the steady pace of this watery world guide you, the hum of history deepening your rest, where even threats hold a soothing story of endurance. As the day's quiet discomforts linger in your thoughts, you find yourself unwell, a fever creeping in, or perhaps a persistent ache that defies the morning's ale. In this 14th century world, seeking help means stepping into the realm of medieval medicine, a domain where cures often feel like polite torture, wrapped in a hypnotic pacing that draws you deeper into its rhythm. Pause for a soft ambient cue, like a distant drip of water. Your ailment, whether a cough or a rash, is blamed on humors out of balance, blood, phlegm, yellow bile, black bile, a subtle mystery in how these invisible forces rule your body, a gentle curiosity that settles like mist over the mind. The remedy begins with bloodletting, a steady draining of your excess blood into a bowl, the leeches attaching with a soft insistence, their work a touch of irony as they get promoted for their service, a wry whisper that brings a faint smile amid the lull. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the sensation. Barber surgeons, those dual wielders of razor and remedy, step in with a surprise that stirs the imagination. The same hand that trims your hair now wields an iron hook by candlelight, pulling teeth or lancing boils without a hint of anesthesia. Their shops hum with the quiet clink of tools, a fact that history buffs might ponder. No germ theory, just faith in balancing what can't be seen, delivered in a rhythm that soothes like the Nile's distant flow. For melancholy, an excess of black bile calls for laxatives or herbal purges, a reflective journey through discomfort where resilience shines. Surviving these cures becomes a quiet victory, your body enduring as the fever breaks or the pain ebbs. Pause for a music cue, a soft lute strum. Crushed beetles or prayers might accompany the treatment, a gentle irony in how God's will mixes with the barber's blade, keeping the narrative lightly engaging without disrupting the calm. Infections rage without antibiotics, sepsis a common fate from a simple cut, yet there's a subtle strength in those who recover, a lullaby of human tenacity that eases you deeper into rest. This battlefield of the body, where medicine tests as much as it heals, flows naturally into the evening's next gamble, dinner's risky offerings, and we'll ease into that next, letting the ache of these remedies fade as your thoughts turn to the hearth. Pause for a gentle breath. Let the steady pace of survival carry you, the hum of history guiding you toward the table, where even sustenance holds its own quiet perils. As the day's labors soften into the twilight of your 14th century existence, you shuffle back to the hearth, the faint crackle of embers a serene guide to the evening's meal. Before you lies dinner, a gray stew that spreads like wet burlap across your wooden bowl, its sensory details a quiet blend of root vegetables and grain simmered into a murky haze, the scent earthy yet tinged with the uncertainty of time. Pause for a gentle ambient cue, like a soft fire's glow fading into the night. This isn't fresh fare, meat, if you're lucky, hangs for days, its surface kissed by flies, preserved with questionable brine that might have shared space with a rat, a subtle mystery in every bite that lulls the mind with its slow unraveling. Preservation is a gamble, with no fridge or freezer, just salt or smoke to fend off decay, and the bread beside it, coarse rye or barley, sometimes hides ergot, a fungus that brings educational intrigue. Its consumption can spark convulsions or hallucinations, a quiet fact for passive learners to ponder as they drift. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the texture. Turnips dominate the plate, boiled or mashed, their presence a constant, while fruit rots quickly if not fermented into wine, and spices like pepper remain a rich man's dream, costing more than your hut. The irony deepens with poaching dangers, snare a rabbit, and dinner could hang you, the Lord's game a deadly boundary, a wry twist that brings a faint, sleepy smile to the tale. Yet resilience threads through this meal, a quiet strength in eating despite the risks, your stomach growling its acceptance of this test. Pause for a music cue, a soft drone of a distant chant. The gray stew warms your hands, a sensory anchor, as you chew through the grit, knowing each bite is a survival one. This culinary challenge flows naturally into the next layer of life, religion's all-encompassing control, and we'll ease into that next, letting the hearth's glow fade as the church bells begin to toll. Let the steady pace of this risky repast carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even danger holds a soothing rhythm. As the gray stew settles in your stomach, the evening hush of your 14th century village gives way to a sound that fills the air, the tolling of church bells, their resonance a dreamy thread weaving through the fabric of your life. Religion holds an unyielding grip here, its presence a constant companion, shaping every moment with a soft, hypnotic tone that speaks of eternal wailing in hell for those who stray, a vision that drifts like smoke from the altar's candles. Pause for a gentle ambient cue, like a distant bell fading into stillness. The church looms large, its stone walls a fortress of faith, where every peasant kneels, guided by priests who interpret God's will with unwavering certainty, a subtle mystery in how divine authority blankets even the smallest hut. Your day bends to its rhythm, prayers at dawn, midday, and dusk, each a quiet ritual where missing a call risks sin, a weight that settles like a soft blanket over your tired mind. Tithes demand a tenth of your meager harvest or earnings, a trivia tidbit for the curious. This offering to the church often leaves your family hungry, yet it's seen as a sacred duty, a gentle intrigue that deepens the narrative's lull. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the surrender. The church owns land, collects rents, and even dictates marriage, its power a spiritual landlord evicting souls with excommunication if debts or dissent arise, an ironic twist that brings a faint, relatable chuckle, easing the listener into rest. Confession becomes a weekly purge, where sins are whispered in dim light, the priest's absolution a soothing balm wrapped in stern warnings of purgatory's flames. Festivals offer rare relief, with processions and feasts on saints' days, yet even these are laced with sermons, the church's voice never truly silent. Pause for a music cue, a soft chant drifting like a breeze. Relics, bones or cloth said to heal, draw pilgrims, a mild surprise in their power to inspire hope amid hardship, while indulgences promise to shorten time in purgatory for a coin, a quiet resilience in your faith despite the cost. The church's grip extends to education, where Latin chants replace learning for most, and superstition fills the gaps, cures from holy water or relics, a gentle curiosity that keeps the mind drifting without strain. This spiritual web, where every breath aligns with divine will, highlights a quiet endurance, a strength in submitting to a higher order. Pause for a gentle breath. As the bells fade, the narrative shifts to another burden, women's extra struggles, and we'll ease into that next, letting the church's echo soften as the weight of gender roles emerges. Let the steady pace of this religious rhythm carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even faith's demands weave a soothing tale. As the church bell's echo fades into the evening stillness of your 14th century village, your gaze turns to the women around you, their lives a quiet testament to a harder mode of existence. Gender inequalities shape their days, a calming repetition of suffer gracefully weaving through their routines, their hands moving steadily as they tend fields, cradle infants, and mend clothes by firelight. Pause for a gentle ambient cue, like a soft rustle of fabric in the breeze. Their work mirrors yours, plowing, sowing, harvesting, yet adds layers of domestic duty, cooking over smoky hearths, spinning wool with calloused fingers, all while dodging the lice that thrive in shared spaces, a subtle rhythm that lulls the mind into their world. Marriage binds them early, often by 14, to men chosen by family or lord, their voices hushed in decisions that shape their fate, a mild mystery in how love remains a rare guest amid duty. Pause for a slow breath, imagining their silence. Witchcraft accusations hover like a shadow, a gentle curiosity sparked by tales of women accused for a neighbor's sour milk or a child's fever, their trials steeped in superstition, dunking stools or fiery stakes, a quiet intrigue that drifts without disturbing the calm. The church labels them temptresses, their strength twisted into sin, yet they endure, their resilience a soft glow in every task completed under scrutiny. Childbirth looms as a constant trial, with no midwives trained beyond herbal lore, infant mortality a frequent visitor, half may not see their 5th year, a fact that weaves a somber lullaby of survival. Pause for a music cue, a distant hum of a lullaby. They juggle this with feeding families on scant rations, their bodies bending under labor's weight, a relatable strength that soothes stressed listeners. Widows face harsher fates, losing land or status, yet they adapt, weaving baskets or begging, their quiet endurance a beacon in the dark. This hard mode, where every day tests their spirit, flows naturally into the next reality, violence's everyday presence, and will ease into that next, letting the grace of their struggle fade as the clash of swords and fists emerges. Pause for a gentle breath. Let the steady pace of their resilience carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even inequality holds a soothing tale of survival. As the quiet resilience of women's lives fades into the evening shadows of your 14th century village, a harsher reality emerges, violence woven into the fabric of daily existence, a subdued presence that hums beneath the surface. Crimes punctuate the air, from petty theft of a loaf to poaching a lord's deer, each met with punishments that unfold like a slow, inevitable tide. Public executions become entertainment, their gallows a stage where the crowd gathers with blankets and snacks, an ironic twist that brings a faint, sleepy chuckle to the mind. Pause for a gentle ambient cue, like a distant murmur of voices fading into stillness. The scaffold creaks under weight, the thud of the axe or the stretch of the rope a muted rhythm, a spectacle where children watch wide-eyed, learning survival's cost in this unforgiving world. Punishments vary with the crime, branding for theft, mutilation for repeat offenders, the irons hiss against flesh a subdued image that lingers without jarring. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the scene. Ordeal trials offer a mild surprise, a gentle intrigue in their medieval logic. Plunge a hand into boiling water, and if it heals cleanly, you're innocent. God's judgment, they say, a quiet mystery that drifts through the narrative. Flogging stripes backs in the square, its rhythm a hypnotic beat, while pillories lock heads and hands, exposing the guilty to jeers and thrown refuse, the crowd's laughter a soft counterpoint to the pain. The irony deepens with justice served with bread, as onlookers munch while the accused suffer, a relatable nod to human nature that eases the listener into rest. Feuds simmer among families or villages, swords clashing in muddy fields, their echoes a distant clang that blends with the wind, a fact for history lovers. Knights weren't always chivalrous, often settling scores with blood. Pause for a music cue, a soft drumbeat fading into silence. Domestic violence hides behind thin walls, a husband's fist a private terror, while war looms larger, raids by rival lords or foreign armies leave fields scorched, a subtle shock in how peace is a fleeting guest. Yet resilience persists, a quiet strength in those who survive the lash or the raid, their spirits bending but not breaking. This daily dance with violence, where every step risks pain, flows naturally into the next truth, short, unglamorous lives, and will ease into that next, letting the clang of steel fade as the brevity of existence takes hold. Pause for a gentle breath. Let the steady pace of this violent world carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even conflict holds a soothing tale of endurance. As the echoes of violence fade into the twilight of your 14th century village, your thoughts turn to the inevitable, death, a quiet companion that arrives with a reflective tone, its presence a soft shadow over every day. Lifespans stretch rarely beyond 30 or 40 years, a life where there's no retirement, just stopping, the body slowing until it simply ceases, a gentle rhythm that lulls the mind into its somber embrace. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a soft wind through barren trees. Infant mortality paints a stark picture. Half may not see their 5th birthday, a trivia tidbit for the curious, where disease or hunger claims the smallest first, their tiny graves unmarked but felt in every hut's silence. Accidents carve their mark, falls from ladders, infections from cuts, a plague's sudden sweep, all unglamorous ends that surprise with their ordinariness, a subtle mystery in how life slips away unnoticed. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the stillness. Toothaches fester into abscesses, childbirth claims mothers, and old age is a rarity, its wrinkles a badge of survival few earn. The humor creeps in with statistical miracles at 40, a relatable nod to outlasting the odds, a faint smile at the irony of celebrating a decade past the norm, easing the listener deeper into rest. No grand send-offs mark these departures. Burials are hasty, often in shared graves, the church's bell tolling a muted farewell. Resilience lingers in those who endure, a quiet strength in facing death's frequency without despair, their lives a testament to carrying on despite the shadow. Pause for a music cue, a soft harp glide. This unglamorous end flows naturally into a softer myth, the tales of medieval romance, and we'll ease into that next, letting the weight of mortality lift as we explore the legends of love. Let the steady pace of this fleeting life carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even death holds a soothing rhythm. As the quiet reality of early death settles into your thoughts, a softer tale emerges from the mists of 14th century lore, the myth of medieval romance, a vision Hollywood paints with gallant knights and fair maidens, now met with a serene contrast to its gritty unfairness. The truth unfolds slowly, a gentle unraveling where love is less a ballad and more a bargain, marriages arranged by lords or parents, their union sealed with dowries rather than devotion. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a distant lute strumming softly. Chivalry exists, but it's a rare bloom amid mud and blood, knights more likely to bicker over land than serenade, a subtle mystery in how simpler times carried relentless hurt beneath their surface, a quiet curiosity that drifts without stirring. Courtly love, sung in troubadour tales, was a noble game, not a peasant's reality. Most couples toil side by side, their affection a stubborn bond forged in shared survival, not candlelit vows. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the labor. Hygiene dims the romance, with unwashed bodies and lice-ridden hair, and pregnancy's dangers cast a shadow over intimacy, a mild surprise in how beauty faded under hardship's weight. Yet resilience shines through human stubbornness, a lulling strength in their persistence to find joy, stolen glances over a plow, a whispered jest by the fire, turning necessity into a quiet tenderness that soothes the listener's mind. This debunked ideal, where love endures despite the odds, flows naturally into a thankful modern reflection, and we'll ease into that next, letting the medieval heart struggles fade as you consider today's comforts. Pause for a music cue, a soft fade of strings. Let the steady pace of this myth-busted romance carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even disillusionment holds a gentle rhythm of human spirit. As the myths of medieval love fade into a gentle hum, your mind drifts eastward to a new story, one of quiet ambition in the 18th century, a tale of Sophie, who would rise to become Catherine the Great, her journey unfolding with a dreamy tone of quiet hunger for greatness that lulls you deeper. Born in 1729 in Stettin, Prussia, she was a minor noble's daughter, her early years marked by a serene stillness, reading by candlelight, her mind sharpening like a blade hidden in silk. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a soft rustle of pages. The surprise lies in her strict upbringing, her mother, Johanna, enforced discipline with an iron hand, lessons in etiquette and French drilled into her, a world where play was a rare guest, a subtle intrigue that drifts through the narrative. Johanna's scheming adds a light irony, her eyes set on elevating the family through Sophie's marriage, pushing her daughter toward courts where alliances trump affection, a relatable nod to parental plots that brings a faint smile. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the pressure. Sophie's intellect blossomed despite this, her letters hinting at a mind eager to rule, a quiet resilience in her ability to endure and adapt, soothing the listener with its steady rhythm. Her father, a quiet soldier, offered little influence, leaving her to navigate her mother's ambitions alone, a gentle mystery in how such roots shaped a future empress. This early chapter, with its whispers of greatness, flows naturally into her next step, her arrival in Russia, and will ease into that next, letting the Prussian stillness fade as she crosses borders to a new destiny. Pause for a music cue, a soft horn note drifting away. Let the steady pace of her quiet rise carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even ambition holds a soothing tale. As the quiet ambition of Sophie's Prussian youth fades into the distance, your mind drifts to her journey eastward, arriving in Russia in 1744 at the age of 15, a moment that unfolds with hypnotic pacing, each step a burning bridge to her past. The vast landscape greets her with snow-dusted plains and the golden domes of St. Petersburg, where she steps into the Russian court, her Prussian identity shedding like a soft shadow, replaced by the weight of a new destiny. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a gentle wind over snow. Her transformation begins with a conversion to orthodoxy, a ritual steeped in trivia for the curious, baptism in icy waters, 3 immersions to honor the Trinity, and a new name, Catherine, whispered with reverence, a subtle mystery in how faith reshapes her soul. The process is meticulous, her days filled with lessons in Russian language and customs, her voice adopting the cadence of her new home, a rhythmic flow that lulls the listener deeper. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the chant. She endures fasting and prayer, her small frame bowing to icons, a quiet resilience in adapting to this alien world, while courtiers watch with diplomatic smiles, a light humor in their masked judgments, a relatable nod to navigating politics that brings a faint smile. The court's grandeur contrasts with her isolation, her mother's scheming letters a distant echo, and the irony of trading one strict regime for another adds a gentle intrigue, keeping the mind softly engaged. Her conversion seals her commitment, a public oath that burns bridges to Prussia, her old life a memory as she embraces Empress Elizabeth's favor, a mild surprise in how swiftly she rises. Pause for a music cue, a soft chime of bells. Yet this new identity carries the weight of expectation, and her next challenge looms, her troubled marriage, and will ease into that next, letting the orthodox chants fade as the court's tensions emerge. Let the steady pace of her transformation carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even change holds a soothing rhythm. As the echoes of Catherine's orthodox baptism fade into the grandeur of the Russian court, your mind settles on her new life, bound by a troubled marriage that unfolds with a reflective tone, each moment a step through a viper's nest court, where trust is a rare commodity. In 1745, she marries Peter, the heir to the throne, a young man whose immaturity clings to him like a shadow, his days spent with toy soldiers or childish tantrums, a stark contrast to her growing poise, a hypnotic rhythm that lulls you deeper into their story. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a soft rustle of silk in a grand hall. His Prussian roots mirror hers, yet his mind remains a boy's, obsessed with military drills and Prussian customs, an ironic twist that highlights their clashing personalities, bringing a faint, relatable smile to the listener. The court buzzes with intrigue, a place where every glance holds a dagger, and Catherine's letters home are monitored, a subtle mystery in who reads her words, perhaps Empress Elizabeth or her spies, their contents a quiet puzzle that drifts through the mind. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the secrecy. She learns to navigate this nest, her intellect sharpening as she reads Voltaire and Montesquieu in secret, while Peter's antics, mocking the orthodox faith or alienating nobles, deepen the rift, a mild surprise in how his immaturity fuels her resolve. Their marriage offers no warmth, their nights separate, his interest lying more with mistresses or drink, a gentle irony in how love was never the bond, appealing to those who know the sting of mismatched unions. Resilience defines her here, a quiet strength in enduring his scorn and the court's whispers, her patience a shield as she builds alliances with key figures, Orloff, Panin, each connection a thread in her web. Pause for a music cue, a soft violin strain fading into silence. This troubled union, steeped in intrigue, flows naturally into her bold next step, her coup, and will ease into that next, letting the court's tensions rise as her power begins to take shape. Let the steady pace of this marital maze carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even conflict holds a soothing rhythm. As the tensions of Catherine's troubled marriage simmer in the shadowed halls of the Russian court, a new chapter unfolds with a calming rhythm, her bold coup of 1762 emerging like a tide of bloodless precision that lulls the mind into its steady flow. The night of June 28 begins quietly, the air thick with summer warmth, as she slips from her palace with the Orloff brothers, her resolve a soft glow against the darkness, her plan hatched in whispered councils with loyal guards and nobles. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a gentle rustle of leaves under moonlight. Dressed in a guard's uniform, she rides to the barracks, her voice steady as she rallies the troops, their cheers a muted wave that carries her to the Winter Palace, a hypnotic pace that eases you deeper into the tale. The surprise lies in Peter's quick surrender. Her husband, now Emperor Peter III, offers little resistance, his toys and Prussian dreams no match for her audacity, a mild shock that drifts through the narrative without jarring the calm. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the silence. He abdicates within hours, confined to Rapsha, his fate sealed by an accident days later, perhaps a pillow or a knife, a subtle mystery that lingers softly. The coup unfolds with minimal bloodshed, a testament to her strategic mind, as the Senate and Church swiftly proclaim her empress, their oaths a gentle chant in the dawn light. The streets fill with cautious celebration, the people's murmurs a rhythmic backdrop to her rise, a quiet resilience in her leap from consort to ruler that soothes the listener's thoughts. Her audacity shines through, a quiet strength in seizing power against a court that once dismissed her, her letters to Voltaire hinting at the intellect driving this move. Pause for a music cue, a soft horn fade into stillness. The guard's loyalty, won by her charm and promises, holds firm, and the noble support, bought with land or favor, cements her throne. This bold ascent, marked by precision and courage, flows naturally into her next phase, Enlightenment reforms, and will ease into that next, letting the coup's echoes fade as her mind turns to governance. Let the steady pace of her rise carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even revolution holds a soothing rhythm. As the echoes of Catherine's coup settle into the quiet halls of the Russian court, your mind drifts to her reign, where she emerges as a philosopher queen, her voice carrying a serene tone that lulls you into the rhythm of Enlightenment reforms. In the years following 1762, she pens the Nakaz, a legal code inspired by Montesquieu and Beccaria, its pages filled with ideas of justice and equality, a gentle flow of thought that eases the listener deeper into rest. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a soft rustle of parchment in a candlelit room. Her correspondence with Voltaire becomes a trivia gem for the curious, hundreds of letters exchanged, their ink tracing debates on liberty and reason, a subtle mystery in how a distant philosopher shaped her rule from France. She convenes a commission to draft this code, its sessions a tapestry of noble and peasant voices, yet the reality tempers her ideals, serfdom persists, a mild surprise in the gap between philosophy and practice. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the debate. Her reforms extend to education, founding schools and publishing books, her mind a beacon of progress, while she balances these with the court's old guard, a tightrope ideology that brings a light humor, a relatable nod to juggling tradition and change, coaxing a faint smile. She encourages smallpox inoculation, a bold move that saves lives, her resilience a quiet strength in facing resistance from fearful subjects. This balancing act, where intellect meets the pragmatics of power, flows naturally into her next ambition, territorial expansions, and will ease into that next, letting the philosopher's quill fade as her gaze turns to the borders. Pause for a music cue, a soft violin strain drifting away. Let the steady pace of her reforms carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even progress holds a soothing rhythm. As the quiet hum of Catherine's reform settles into the vast expanse of her Russian Empire, your mind drifts to the edges of her reign, where expansions and partitions unfold with subdued drama, the redrawn maps, a gentle ripple across the land. In the late 1760s, her gaze turned south to the Ottoman Empire, wars sparked by border skirmishes and the dream of warm water ports, a mystery that lulls the listener. The Black Seas promise a distant lure for trade and power. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a soft wave lapping at a shore. The Russo-Turkish wars stretch over years, battles fought with muted cannon fire and cavalry charges, each victory, like the 1774 Treaty of Kukuk-Kanarka, pushing Russia's borders westward, a steady rhythm that eases you deeper into the tale. The Polish-Lithuanian Commonwealth becomes her next canvas, its partitions in 1772, 1793, and 1795 a quiet reshaping of Europe, her alliance with Prussia and Austria carving out territories with diplomatic precision. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the negotiations. The maps shift, towns and rivers claimed with little fanfare, a subtle surprise in how power redraws lives without their consent. Her ambition, tinged with destiny's irony, brings a faint smile. Ruling an empire while expanding it feels like a cosmic jest, a relatable nod to overreaching goals that soothes the stressed mind. Troops march through muddy fields, generals report successes, and the warm ports of Crimea fall into her grasp by 1783, yet the cost in lives and resources remains a hushed undertone. Resilience threads through these conquests, her determination a quiet strength as she navigates alliances and betrayals, her court a stage for both triumph and tension. Pause for a music cue, a soft drumbeat fading into silence. The Ottoman sultans resist, their fortresses falling slowly, while Poland's nobles protest, their voices drowned by her decrees, a gentle intrigue in how geography shapes her legacy. This expansive reach, marked by ambition and irony, flows naturally into her private life, and will ease into that next, letting the redrawn borders fade as her personal world emerges. Let the steady pace of these expansions carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even conquest holds a soothing rhythm. As the vast maps of Catherine's empire settle into a quiet expanse, your mind drifts inward to her private life, a realm painted with a dreamy tone where strategic passions weave through the corridors of the Russian court. After Peter's death, her heart finds solace in lovers, men like Grigory Orlov and later Potemkin, each relationship a careful alliance, their presence a soft rhythm that lulls you deeper into her story. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a gentle rustle of velvet curtains. These connections blend affection with power, Orlov aiding her coup, Potemkin shaping her wars, a subtle mystery in how love served her reign, their whispered names a gentle intrigue that drifts through the mind. Rumors swirl, a mild surprise in tales of a secret marriage to Potemkin, their bond hinted at in letters and shared governance, though no proof seals the claim, a quiet curiosity that eases without disrupting the calm. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the whispers. Her court stages, curated parades, of suitors, young officers paraded before her with a light humor in their polished boots and nervous smiles, a relatable nod to matchmaking that brings a faint chuckle. Other lovers, like Lanskoy and Zubov, follow, each a chapter in her later years, their youth a contrast to her wisdom, an ironic twist on romance that appeals to the listener's sense of human frailty. Resilience defines this private sphere, her strength in choosing partners who bolster her rule, her scandals a shield against loneliness in a palace of intrigue. Pause for a music cue, a soft harp glide fading into silence. Yet these passions draw criticism, foreign courts gossiping about her immorality, a gentle surprise in how power amplifies personal tales. This intimate world, marked by strategy and scandal, flows naturally into a darker challenge, the Pugachev Rebellion, and will ease into that next, letting the lover's whispers fade as unrest rises. Let the steady pace of her private life carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even scandal holds a soothing rhythm. As the soft echoes of Catherine's private passions fade into the vastness of her empire, a reflective tone settles over a new challenge, the Pugachev Rebellion, a storm of oppressed promises, rising in the early 1770s. The uprising begins in the Urals, where Cossack leader Yemelian Pugachev claims to be the murdered Peter III, his voice a muted cry against serfdom and taxes, a gentle rhythm that lulls you into the tale of discontent. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a distant wind across the steppe. Peasants and soldiers join, their anger fueled by harsh winters and unkept royal vows, a subtle mystery in how a single man's lie ignites a fire across the south, drifting through the mind with quiet intrigue. Pugachev's forces sweep through villages, capturing forts with makeshift weapons, their revolt a mirror to the empire's inequalities, a trivia tidbit for the curious. His iron cage execution in 1775, paraded before Moscow's crowds, becomes a symbol of crushed hope, his head displayed as a warning. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the procession. Catherine's response is swift, her armies dispatched with ruthless precision, a resilience that shines in her refusal to yield, her orders a steady beat that soothes despite the violence. She offers amnesty to deserters, a strategic move that turns the tide, while Pugachev's lieutenants fall, their trials a muted drumroll to his end, a mild surprise in how loyalty crumbles under pressure. Her strength lies in this unyielding stance, a quiet endurance as she quells the rebellion, reinforcing her rule with new garrisons and decrees, the empire's stability a lullaby of control. Pause for a music cue, a soft toll of a distant bell. The rebellion's scars linger, thousands dead, villages burned, yet her resolve holds, a gentle irony in how chaos strengthens her legacy. This fierce response, marked by resilience, flows naturally into her final years, and will ease into that next, letting the rebellion's echoes fade as her reign nears its close. Let the steady pace of this uprising carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even rebellion holds a soothing rhythm. As the echoes of the Pugachev rebellion fade into the stillness of Catherine's later years, your mind drifts to her legacy, a calming summary unfolding with the image of a philosopher's iron hand guiding Russia through expansions and reforms. Her reign, stretching from 1762 to 1796, reshapes the empire, territory stretching to the Black Sea, legal codes inspired by Enlightenment ideals, a gentle rhythm that lulls you deeper into this reflective tale. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a soft rustle of leaves in a quiet garden. Her correspondence with Voltaire and Diderot echoes in schools and libraries she founded, yet the mystery lingers in her extension of serfdom, millions bound tighter to the land, a subtle intrigue in how progress coexisted with bondage, drifting through the mind without disturbance. Her achievements stand tall, victories over the Ottomans, the partitions of Poland, a navy rising on new waters, each a thread in her tapestry of power, woven with a quiet resilience that soothes. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the maps. Yet contradictions emerge, her nakaz promised equality but left serfs enslaved, her smallpox inoculation saved lives yet faced riots, a mild surprise in the duality of her rule. The ironic, greatness without flawlessness, brings a faint smile, a relatable nod to the human struggle of balancing ideals and reality, engaging the listener with its gentle humor. She builds palaces like Tsarskoye Selo, their grandeur a contrast to peasants' huts, her court a stage for art and intrigue, yet her health declines, gout and strokes marking her final decade. This legacy, a blend of brilliance and blemish, highlights her endurance, a strength in ruling an empire while facing its flaws, her spirit a lullaby of determination. Pause for a music cue, a soft fade of strings. As her reign nears its end, the narrative shifts to a distant mystery, the Red Queen, and will ease into that next, letting Catherine's iron hand relax as a new enigma emerges from the past. Let the steady pace of her legacy carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even contradictions hold a soothing rhythm. As the legacy of Catherine's reign fades into a gentle dusk, your mind drifts across centuries to a new enigma, the Red Queen, her story teased with a hypnotic tone on a crimson cloud skeleton discovered in 1994. Beneath the pyramids of Palenque, Mexico, archaeologists uncovered a tomb, its air thick with the scent of ancient earth, the skeleton cloaked in a reddish hue from cinnabar, a rhythm that lulls you deeper into this distant tale. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a soft whisper of wind through ruins. The surprise emerges with a jade mask, its green glow resting over her face, a mild intrigue in how royalty from the 7th century adorned themselves for eternity, drawing your thoughts softly inward. This discovery, nestled in the Maya world, hints at a queen of power, her identity lost to time, a subtle mystery that drifts like a quiet breeze. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the mask's gleam. The term Red Queen brings a light humor in enigmatic royalty, a relatable nod to history's unsolved puzzles, coaxing a faint smile as you picture her regal yet unknown status. Her tomb, undisturbed for over a millennium, holds offerings of jade and shells, a gentle curiosity in what secrets lie beneath the dust, easing the mind without stirring it awake. This hypnotic introduction, wrapped in ancient allure, flows naturally into the red dust symbolism, and we'll ease into that next, letting the jade mask's glow fade as the cinnabar's meaning unfolds. Pause for a music cue, a soft chime drifting away. Let the steady pace of this mystery carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even an unknown queen holds a soothing rhythm. As the jade mask of the Red Queen fades into the stillness of her Palenque tomb, your mind settles on the crimson dust that cloaks her bones, a serene imagery of blood rebirth unfolding with a gentle rhythm that lulls you deeper into her 7th century Maya world. This dust, cinnabar, a vivid red pigment derived from mercury ore, coats her skeleton, its soft glow under torchlight suggesting a ritual of renewal, a cycle of life and death whispered through the ages. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a faint echo in a stone chamber. The trivia seeps in, cinnabar's toxicity, a quiet danger as mercury vapors once filled the air during its grinding, a subtle mystery in how priests risked their lives for this sacred hue, drifting through your thoughts with calm intrigue. This red dust, applied with care, symbolizes more than decay, it's a bridge to the underworld, a serene belief that her spirit journeys through blood to rebirth, her bones a canvas of divine intent. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the ritual. The process required grinding the ore, its scarlet powder mixed with reverence, a mild surprise in how such a perilous substance became holy, its shimmer a testament to Maya ingenuity. The tomb's air, thick with this dust, holds a quiet resilience, a strength in honoring the dead with such dedication, soothing the listener with its steady pace. A parallel burial adds to the enigma. Nearby lies Pal, another ruler, his tomb mirroring hers with jade and cinnabar, a gentle curiosity in whether they shared a dynasty or a ritual bond, their stories intertwined yet separate. Pause for a music cue, a soft drumbeat fading into silence. This connection, lost to time, captivates without disturbing, leading naturally to her offerings, the treasures that accompanied her journey. We'll ease into that next, letting the red dust symbolism settle as her grave goods emerge, their purpose a new layer of this ancient lullaby. Let the steady pace of this ritual carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even dust holds a soothing rhythm. As the crimson dust of the Red Queen's tomb settles into a quiet reverence, your mind drifts to the treasures that surround her, offerings detailed with a dreamy tone on soul's necessities, that lulls you deeper into her 7th century Maya afterlife. Jade beads and carvings gleam softly in the torchlight, their green hues a serene contrast to the red, while ceramic vessels hold traces of food and drink, meant to sustain her spirit on its journey through the underworld. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a gentle hum of an ancient chant. The surprise lies in the jade mask's purpose, not just adornment, but a shield for her face in the afterlife, a subtle mystery in how it guarded her identity beyond death, drifting through your thoughts with calm wonder. These offerings, meticulously placed, speak of a ritual care. Shells, obsidian blades, and mirrors reflect her status, each item a step in her transformation, a quiet resilience in the belief that the soul evolves through this passage. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the glow. The vessels, some cracked with age, once held tamales or cacao, a gentle rhythm in their preparation, a testament to the living honoring the dead with everyday sustenance. Her body, wrapped in textiles now faded, rests amid this wealth, the transformation theme a soothing lullaby of renewal, her spirit rising as the mask protects. This journey, marked by such devotion, highlights a strength in facing the unknown, a serene endurance that eases the mind. Pause for a music cue, a soft flute note fading away. These offerings naturally lead to questions of her identity, and we'll ease into that next, letting the jade's glow fade as theories about her name and role emerge. Let the steady pace of her afterlife carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even the journey holds a soothing rhythm. As the offerings of jade and cinnabar settle into the quiet shadows of the Red Queen's tomb, your mind drifts to the theory surrounding her identity, a reflective tone unfolding like a Maya glyph etched in stone, each line hinting at a life of cosmic duality. Scholars whisper of Tz Akbuajah, the wife of Kinich Janab Pakal, the great king of Palenque, her role as consort and mother to his heirs, a bridge between earthly power and divine harmony. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a distant echo in a stone chamber. This theory gained strength from the tomb's proximity to Pakals, their burials mirroring one another in cinnabar and jade, a gentle rhythm of partnership where she embodies the moon to his sun, a cosmic duality that lulls the listener with its balanced grace. Yet, irony lingers in her nameless power, a woman of such influence, buried with royal splendor, yet stripped of inscriptions, as if her strength needed no words to endure, a wry twist that brings a faint smile to the tale. Pause for a slow breath, imagining the silence. Other voices suggest she could be Nine Sak Kuk, Pakal's mother, who ruled as regent, her legacy a quiet force shaping a dynasty, or perhaps a high priestess whose rituals wove the threads of Maya fate. The narrative's hypnotic cadence explores these possibilities, a subtle mystery in how history veils her name, drifting through your thoughts without stirring the calm. DNA tests, a modern probe into ancient bones, offer inconclusiveness, a surprise in their failure to link her maternally to Pakal, yet leaving room for spousal ties, a gentle intrigue that captivates without disruption. Her legacy endures not in stone carvings but in the questions she inspires, a resilience in how nameless power echoes louder than inscribed titles, soothing the mind with its enduring whisper. Pause for a music cue, a soft flute note fading away. This enigma, wrapped in Maya cosmology, flows naturally into a new story, a woman whose art defied pain, and we'll ease into Frida Kahlo's intro next, letting the Red Queen's mystery fade as a new canvas emerges. Let the steady pace of her theories carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even anonymity holds a soothing rhythm. As the enigma of the Red Queen fades into the stillness of ancient stone, your mind drifts to a vibrant new tale, the early life of Frida Kahlo, teased with a calming tone on colorful contradictions that lulls you into her world. Born in 1907 in Coyoacan, Mexico, her childhood dances between joy and pain, her home a blue house filled with laughter and the shadow of illness, a gentle rhythm that eases you deeper into rest. Pause for a soothing ambient cue, like a soft breeze through a garden. The surprise emerges in her polio at 6, a disease that left her leg withered, yet her resilience shines as she walks again, turning weakness into a quiet strength that soothes the listener's thoughts. Her spirit bursts forth in bold strokes, skipping school to explore markets, asking, "Why not me?" with a humor that brings a faint, relatable smile, a nod to her defiance against fate that engages without stirring. Pause for a slow breath, imagining her curiosity. Raised by a photographer father and a devout mother, her life weaves German roots with Mexican traditions, a colorful contradiction in her bloodlines, a subtle mystery in how these shaped her art. She plays soccer with boys, her laughter a soft echo, and dreams of medicine, her mind sharp despite her limp, a gentle intrigue that drifts through the calm. This early resilience, a thread of endurance amid hardship, sets the stage for her later triumphs. Pause for a music cue, a soft guitar strum fading away. Her story flows naturally into a thankful conclusion, and we'll ease into that next, letting Frida's bold questions fade as gratitude for modern comforts emerges. Let the steady pace of her beginnings carry you, the hum of history guiding you deeper into rest, where even contradictions hold a soothing rhythm.